Hi, welcome to the Factorologist. Of all of history's greatest leaders, few, if any, have held as much power and influence as the mighty Mongol ruler Genghis Khan. As founder of the Mongol Empire, Genghis laid waste to all who stood in his way en route to controlling a large swath of Asia during the early 13th century. Though Genghis was undeniably ruthless in his conquests, he was also a cunning tactician whose skills made him wildly effective in his imperialist efforts. Genghis Khan lived from 1162 until 1227, rising from the ranks of relative obscurity to unify a once scattered steppe region in modern Mongolia and other parts of Central Asia. At the height of his power, no man was more feared or revered than Genghis, whose success as a conqueror led to one of the largest empires in history. Genghis Khan's impact on global history is undeniable, and there's much to be discussed about his life. Here are 5 facts about the infamous leader of the Mongols. Number 1. Genghis Khan's birth name was Temujin. Though he's best known as Genghis Khan, that name was actually bestowed on the Mongol leader later in life. At birth, he was known as Temujin, derived from the Turkic word temur, meaning iron. The name was an apt descriptor of the boy who would grow up to become a brutal warrior after being forced into a leadership role at a young age. After Temujin's father was poisoned when Temujin was around 10 years old, the family was abandoned by their clan, forcing the boy to look after his mother and siblings. He showcased leadership skills from an early age and spent the ensuing years conquering countless nomadic steppe tribes. As recognition for his efforts, Mongol nobles gave him the name Genghis Khan, Genghis Khan in the Western spelling, a title that roughly translates to universal ruler. Number 2. He was tolerant of many different religions. Genghis Khan was an undeniably vicious ruler with little regard for human life, as he brutally massacred an estimated 40 million people in the name of expanding his empire, often inflicting harsh punishments on any that stood in his way. But Genghis Khan was also an early and unlikely proponent of religious tolerance. Though he himself practiced a type of shamanism focused around sky spirits of local folk legend, Genghis left the Christians, Buddhists, Muslims, and other people he conquered to worship in relative peace. Part of the reason for this was to earn the support of each new tribe that he subjugated. Allowing them to maintain their faith lessened the chances that they would fight back or revolt. Genghis even welcomed those with differing beliefs into his family, as his sons married women who followed the Nestorian sect of Christianity. According to some accounts, he also consulted Taoist leader Chu Chuji later in life, openly debating the topics of morality and philosophy. Number 3. His Mongol Empire is the largest contiguous land empire in history. The record for the largest contiguous land empire in history goes to the Mongols, though the British Empire was larger if you include overseas territories, reaching its apex in 1919. Genghis Khan founded the Mongol Empire in 1206, and by the middle of that century it grew to encompass 9.15 million square miles of land, equal to 16% of Earth's total land mass. While this peak was achieved a few decades after Genghis Khan's death in 1227, its expansion wouldn't have been possible without Genghis's imperial efforts during the early part of the 13th century. Under his reign, the Mongol Empire extended through China all the way to the Korean peninsula in the east, and as far as the Middle East in the west. After Genghis's death, the Mongols pushed even farther westward, conquering land as far as Eastern Europe. Number 4. 0.5% of modern-day males are related to Genghis Khan. While Genghis Khan conquered land far and wide, his scope reached even further across the globe through his genetic lineage. During his lifetime, Genghis fathered children with 6 wives and an even larger number of concubines, beginning with his first marriage to a woman named Borte. With Borte, Genghis had 5 daughters and 4 sons, Yochi, Chagatai, Ogadai, and Tolui. and there were many more children to come. While it's impossible to note just how many children Genghis sired, a 2003 study posited that Genghis Khan's DNA could be found in 8% of Asian men along the Y chromosome, a number large enough to account for 0.5% of the world's total male population. Number 5. Nobody knows what he looked like, how he died, or where he's buried. Though there are many modern-day depictions of Genghis Khan, artists were strictly prohibited from capturing his likeness during his lifetime. This meant no portraits, sculptures, coinage, or anything else could be created with the Khan's image, lest the artist risk the ire of their brutal emperor. It wasn't until after Genghis's death that people began to reproduce his likeness, though each culture portrayed the late ruler in a different way. Chinese artists painted Genghis as an elderly man with a wispy beard. Persian artists portrayed him as a sultan atop a throne, and Europeans drew a more menacing Genghis as an uncouth barbarian. The mysteries surrounding Genghis Khan extend to his death and burial as well. The cause of his death remains unclear, as some rumors suggest he died of bubonic plague, whereas others believe it was due to blood loss or a fall. After his death, however it occurred, Genghis Khan was buried in an unmarked grave. In order to ensure this spot remained a mystery, 1,000 soldiers rode horses over the area to remove any trace of the gravesite. This act was so successful that even to this day, archaeological efforts have yet to uncover Genghis Khan's final resting place. If you want to learn more facts on various topics, please subscribe to The Factorologist. Until next time.